you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shell if you are new here. Today I'm going to be talking about acne and my struggles with it. I have been dealing with acne my whole life, but I really want to go over this last year with you guys because it really got severe this last year and I've learned a lot along the way. So if this is something you guys are interested in, please keep on watching. So I'll be honest, I already made this video once and I ended up telling you guys my whole journey with my acne. And I just felt like it was long and ranty and I didn't like it, to be honest. So I ended up deleting it and I'm restarting it. I'm going to start from what happened last year up until now. That way I can kind of keep it a little shorter. If you guys want to know more, I'll be happy to elaborate and give you more information, but I wanted to start here for now. This all started back in about September of 2019. It was right before my wedding. So I started every once in a while getting a big one here or there. I remember on my bachelorette weekend, actually, I got one like on my neck, which was weird. So I didn't think anything of it. I just thought maybe I used a lotion I didn't like or anything like that. When I started getting them on my face a little bit, again, I thought it was a moisturizer I was using, and so I just ended up switching moisturizers thinking that that's what it was. And then fast forward to my wedding, which was in October of 2019. I remember I woke up, I had a cyst actually in like the same spot I have one right now, right here. And I was so frustrated, but I didn't let it get me down. I ended up doing my own makeup and I felt really good that day. I'm gonna post pictures of what I look like that day just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We went to Aruba for our honeymoon and it was a great time. We had so much fun, but I do remember thinking before I went to Aruba that I didn't want to really bring any makeup. I didn't want to have to do my hair. I am somebody that because I'm in the beauty industry, I feel like I need to do it all the time just because of my job. When I went there, I just kind of wanted to let loose, be free, not think about it. And that didn't end up happening fully for me. It wasn't nearly as bad as what my skin got to, but I remember we ended up leaving for the airport early that morning and I woke up and I had a cyst on my chin, one of the sides, and it hurt so bad. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It literally I felt like I had another chin. I was so frustrated. And again, I didn't really know what was going on yet. So I'm just thinking it's like a lotion I was using or I needed to clean my pillowcase. I didn't really think much of it. So we get to Aruba and my skin broke out a little bit while we were in Aruba. I think with the salt water that we were in, it ended up helping it just kind of dry some of that out. So it never got crazy while we were there. But the whole time we were there, I had at least one or two and I was very self-conscious. I was wearing makeup while I was there. And I didn't want to do that. So I was just frustrated. It really wasn't as bad. I will again post, I don't think I have any close-up pictures of me from Aruba. I'll see if I do. But if I do, I'll post up pictures so you guys can see. It really wasn't that bad, but at the time, it was for me, I guess. So fast forward to New Year's Eve of 2020. I had ended up going to a party at my friend's house with my husband. It was luckily a themed party, so we dressed up as celebrities. So I was Sandy and he was Danny from Greece. And I was able to do a full face of makeup. I had big curls. It was awesome. But I remember that I had broken out on my cheek and it really was hurting. They were painful to touch. And it was just a few, but still. And I was so frustrated. I felt like every time I was having a big event or something was going on is when I was breaking out. And I'm like, is it stress related? What is going on with me? I couldn't really figure out what was happening. Because again, it wasn't terrible. It didn't get terrible till later. But at the time, it was the worst my skin had been in years. So then fast forward to March. March was when everything shut down in America, and I swear the minute I stayed home, my skin freaked out. I'm going to, again, post pictures here of kind of January, February, March, what I have. So, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094, 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 20 I just didn't know what to do with myself. I felt so ugly. I was in pain. I didn't know what was happening to me. And I didn't want anyone to see me, including my husband. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was actually thankful for the lockdown at first because I didn't have to see anybody in person. And if I did, I had a mask on. So I was like, because it's funny, I shouldn't say this because it'll happen, but I don't really break out on my forehead. I never have. Every once in a blue moon, I'd get one, but that's it. It's always been on my cheeks. Even when I was younger, March happened. I'll never forget. It was halfway through March. So I have 2 jobs. And when I wasn't working in the salon, obviously they were closed, but my other job is I work at a construction company. And I just work in an office by myself. So I ended up still working there a little bit and getting things done while I was there. So I remember one morning I was getting ready for work and I woke up. I was in a lot of pain again. I was so frustrated. And my husband came out. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning and he's like, what's going on? And I just started crying and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I can't seem to figure this out. I wasn't missing a day of skincare. I was trying to figure out if it was diet related. I'm doing all these different things and there was just no relief. Every day I kept waking up with a new one or more than one. And I was in constant pain every day. So I was getting ready. Me and him were talking. Unfortunately, he kind of made it worse than better. It just, because this is such an unknown territory, he didn't know what to say. It's not his fault. I was just super sensitive. And I'm putting on foundation. Now, again, I was wearing a mask when people came in, but I wasn't wearing it when I was by myself. So I was that nervous that if someone walked in the door and they saw me without my mask for 3 seconds, I was mortified. So I kept putting on makeup. It was so stupid, to be honest. But that's how my brain was working. So I'm trying to put on my face makeup. I'm sobbing into the mirror. So I keep, it's coming down. It's just ruining the makeup. I have all this texture on my skin. It just was horrendous. I ended up texting my boss and saying, I'm still coming, but I'm going to be late. And I never do that. So my skin kind of just stayed pretty bad from March until I would say June. It started to take a turn, though, and I'm trying to think of when I got it, though. So it did start to help a little bit. I ended up getting a Lumi spot, and I'm going to post a picture here of what that is. I have been following some girls on Instagram who have struggled with acne themselves, and honestly, that was one of the biggest things that helped me get through all of this. But one of them had told me about the Lumi spot. Well, not me. She was posting it on her stories. And she had similar acne to mine where hers was a lot on her cheeks and she did wear makeup. And she's like, this really removes any of that leftover makeup that you think is gone from just washing it this way. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot because her skin was starting to look better. So I did buy it and I do think it helped a lot. I'm going to post pictures of when I started using it and then like 10 days later, I think. I tried to write it all down, but it's hard to remember because this was a year ago. But let me post up a picture so you can see the difference in my skin texture. I really think that was a big help to my skin. I was also trying different products. I kept buying different things. It was like I was searching for that magical product and it obviously just wasn't happening. And I was overloading my skin and making it worse. So it is what it is. My biggest thing that I was really stressed out about was over the summer. I usually don't wear a lot of makeup in the summertime because like it's gross and I just feel like it clogs your pores and you're sweaty and it looks terrible in 6 minutes anyways. So I also go to a lake and go water skiing and doing all that. And I was very nervous to do that in front of my family and my friends. So granted, it was like 4 of us there because of COVID, but still I was nervous to do that. I did go, but there were days that if my skin was bad, I just didn't go at all. There were days that if it was okay, I would go, but I was still wearing makeup every day. I actually ended up using the It Cosmetics CC cream because it had the SPF in it, but it had some coverage. I ended up using this a lot over the summertime. My husband's like, isn't this expensive? I'm like, so expensive. But it gave me enough where I could go out there and have some fun. But the minute I got out of the water, I was putting this back on my face. And unfortunately, I wish I could say it was because of the sunscreen, and that was a smidge part of it, but honestly, it was just that it had coverage on it. It made me feel better. So fast forward to September, and I had gone away hiking with 2 friends, and we went up to New Hampshire. There was a night I brought up all my skincare. They were like laughing at me because I was like, I'm not messing around. I had a goal. My resolution for last year was to not miss a day of my skincare, and I didn't. But there was a night, so my parents ended up coming up to New Hampshire as well. And I saw them. I went over there one night. The problem is I stayed too late, and my friends they were like 45 minutes away from where my parents were, and I was just too tired to drive home. So because of that, I ended up staying there. But the problem is obviously I didn't bring my skincare stuff. So I came to my mom and I was like, Mom, what do you have for skincare? Now I'm laughing because my mom, first of all, isn't a girly girl. She has clear skin. And so I'm like, I'm so screwed. Sure enough, she goes, I have a bar soap and some moisturizer from CVS. I don't even remember what the brand was. So sure enough, I did it anyways because I'm like, well, I have makeup on my face. I got to take this off. I don't want to sleep in it. So I used the bar of soap and whatever that moisturizer was. And then next morning, sure enough, I woke up with a big one right on my cheek. And I'm like, okay. So for people that were telling me I was being ridiculous about my skincare, well, it clearly was working to a point, you know? So finally I went to see a dermatologist. I can't remember if it was in October or November. He ended up putting me on a medication and a certain face wash and the Differin gel. I did save the bottle because I was going to show you guys what the medicine was, but you know what? I'm not a doctor. I don't want to put out any wrong information, so I'm not going to show you guys what it is. I stayed on that medication for 2 months. I was on it for the first month and it on a higher dose, and then I went to a lower dose for the second month, and now I've been off of it for a little while. I need to go back and see him and see what he's thinking, what my next move should be, but that was the history behind that. The face wash and the Differin I'm still using. The face wash is unfortunately downstairs, but I do have the Differin gel right here, and this is what I've been using. The Differin really helped with my skin texture. My skin texture is so much softer now and so much smoother, I've noticed. Even on this side where I have more scarring, it is softer and smoother. So let me just show you guys my skin real quick as an update. So I did my eyes today for work, and I have a little concealer on this side. I have nothing on this side. I don't really have a lot of big scarring on this side, so it doesn't bother me. It's this side that does. So let me show you what it looks like right now. Right now I have 2 active. I have this one down here, which is active, but it is healing. And then I have this one that came up this morning. That's it. Before that had way more. I couldn't even count how many was on my face. So for some reason, I have noticed that this side of my face breaks out more than this side of my face. I don't know why. I've thought about if it's because I sleep on this side, but I don't. I asked my husband and he says I'm usually on this side because I face away from him when I'm sleeping. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it is what it is. Probably because I pick more on this side, so I'm spreading bacteria. That's just the truth behind it. I wish I wasn't a picker, but I absolutely am. And that's why I'm dealing with all this scarring. So if you can see, I don't know how much, but this used to be a really, really deep scarring. You've probably seen it in pictures I've already posted, but if not, I'll post again one right here if I didn't post one before. Same with up here. This is all scarring. This is one that's healing, and then obviously this one is healing. So all of that scarring because I couldn't get away from my face. That's my fault. This side, I did pick a little bit, but not nearly the same because I didn't get as many big ones on this side. So I don't know why I didn't scar so much on this side, but it is what it is. But with that being said, I'm not in pain like I used to be. And I also, the fact that this is all I have on for makeup and I feel okay, I'm really grateful for, because I mean, if you saw it in the pictures, I was putting on full faces and it looked horrendous. It was so bumpy. I remember back when it was really bad, I think it was this side of my face, all down here, it was like oozing and sore. It felt like it was like almost burning. It was crazy. And then this side felt more like, it was more like the cysts, and they're just big and hurt, and they're just under your skin. There's nothing you can do to get it. It's so frustrating. So I believe the cause of all of this for me is hormonal. I've changed a few things in my diet that's helped, and I don't miss my skincare routine. I do it every single night, no matter what. I have simplified it a ton. I will be doing a video of like a morning skin routine and a nighttime skin routine. So I will be showing you guys that at some point. I don't know when, but I didn't want this video, it's already long enough. I didn't want to keep going. I'm thankful to not be in pain every day. I'm thankful that I can wear a lot less makeup and feel okay. I'm not like confident yet, but I'm a lot better. So I've come a long way. The fact that I can even talk about my acne is also a big thing. The reason I'm talking about this is because I know there are people out there that are struggling just the way I was and still am a little bit. And I can't tell you how much those girls on Instagram help me. I know that sounds crazy, but just because, you know, they go on and they would post and say, hey, I'm having a bad breakout day and I'm uncomfortable. And I'm like, thank you. It's not just me. That was so important to feel not alone. So that's why I'm making this video, because you guys, whoever's struggling with this right now, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. And it's amazing what the internet can show you. You know, if you look on my personal Instagram, you would never know that I struggled with acne unless I posted about it. And I posted about it maybe 3 times. And I didn't even post the bad stuff. I just posted like, oh, here's some skin texture. And it wasn't nearly to the extent of what you're seeing on this channel right now. I'm still not really comfortable posting that on my personal Instagram yet, but I am, for some reason, I'm okay with doing it here. I think that it's just really important. And if people pick on me, they pick on me. It is what it is. I can't change that, you know? But you're not alone, and I'm here for you. If you've struggled, comment down below and we can talk about it. And I never want people to feel the way I felt, because I did feel so empty, alone, ashamed. And that would break my heart to know somebody else felt that way when I've been there. So with all of that being said, that is a very quick version of what's going on. The reason I also know that this is hormonal is because of birth control. And I can go into further detail if you guys are interested. But when I came off of birth control, this is what triggered it. When I went on the IUD, I got cystic acne because of it. And then it calmed down. But birth control has been the triggering factor for my acne every time, one way or the other. So I know a lot of this is hormonal and the other instances right now I'm breaking out because I was on my period last week. So this is all healing from my period. So I know for a fact that it's an imbalance in my body. It's not my fault. I'm not a dirty person. I'm probably one of the cleanest people you meet just because of how crazy I am about my skincare. So it's not my fault. It's not your fault. And all we can do is try to make it better. So with that being said, you guys, I do appreciate you being here. I hope that this helps even one person. That's all that matters to me. And please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you want to know more, comment down below. I'd be happy to go in more detail in another video if you ask. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, you guys.